Good morning. We live in a world now that I consider to be a timeline error. Got that? Timeline error. Ever notice how you always grabbing your phone and you're always going to the certain social media outlets to check and see what's going on or what happened? Doesn't matter the venue. You're looking at a timeline. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Vine, Periscope. Doesn't matter. We're always trying to see what's popping on our timeline to see what people have talked about or already talking about. Never talking about what's getting ready to happen next, because that's a life thing. We can never tell what's getting ready to happen next. We can predict, we can assume, but we never know. But for some reason, we're so fascinated on what happened before. We want to go back in time, but time itself never goes back. Time only goes forward. So I think we need to remember certain things as far as when it comes to time. We cannot go back into time. We like to try to see how time was. We like to go back and dig up old facts and old history and things to show us how time was and kind of recreate that or reimagine it. However, we need to focus on one thing, and that's today. We always want to know what happened back then. What about today? We always talking about what the future may hold, and that's fine, but what about today? You ever notice how we're so fascinated when it comes to time, but the main time that we don't put enough emphasis on is right now? Live for today. Even talks about in the Bible, tomorrow presents its own troubles. Today is enough to worry about today. Don't worry about what's getting ready to happen later. Don't even worry about too much of what happened back then, because what happened back then is gone, and you can't do anything about it. You can't go back and change it. What's getting ready to happen tomorrow, you got to hope you make it to tomorrow. You know what I mean? Every day you wake up is a blessing. So don't worry too much about what's getting ready to happen tomorrow. Don't worry about what happened back then, 2 weeks ago, last year, 6 years ago. Worry about today. What about today? Don't get too caught up in what used to be or what you want to happen to the point where you missed everything that's supposed to happen today. Live for today and live every day like it's your last, because life itself, every day you wake up, is a blessing. It's a blessing. Appreciate life and the time that you have. Get off the timeline, because your timeline does not represent what's going on right now. It's talking about what happened then, 2 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 36 minutes ago, or yesterday, or the day before yesterday. Worry about today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow is a whole different entity and it has its own problems. Today is enough to worry about for today. So live for today. Each and every day that you wake up to a today. Got it? It's Motivation Monday. Let's go.